The vast majority of people don't give a solitary crap about trending social issues, they just want to look good on the internet. They want to ride the bandwagon so they can grab the likes, massage their overinflated egos and compete with their friends over who can share the most self-righteous posts on social media. Give it a month or two and they'll be on to the next thing. The previous issue is no longer popular, so why bother caring, right? Oh, and be sure to tune in later on in the year, to see them posting inspirational quotes from that musician who died, whose music they never listened to, a bunch of narcissistic dopamine junkies. Edit, I've received some colorful messages and one death threat. That was a good laugh, I suppose. Perhaps refrain from browsing r/unpopular opinion if you get easily enraged by opinions you don't find popular. KONY 2012 baby. We have 5-second attention span and we don't realize the power of media. They talked about the virus non-stop for months, people got jaded. The new thing is social justice, report on that. Suddenly everyone is an activist. What about all the people that suffered, died, and continue to suffer and die? Don't know what's worse, the media telling everyone where to focus their attention and people actually falling for it. Or that we are so jaded that we need a new thing at all times. The counter-argument is that eventually issues reach a tipping point and that's what we are seeing now. Be that as it may, we waited how long before the tipping point? Our tolerance for social injustice is this high? Really? Hundreds of years of social injustice and now we act? When coincidentally everyone is starved for content. Ultimately, yes, is a good thing that is happening. Better late than never. But in my opinion, this is not going to go anywhere. Give it about a month or so, new Kardashian bullshit is going to claim everyone's attention. Or maybe a new HBO show, or that next season of The Mandalorian. Most people, including all the thirsty celebrities, are going to drop the Social Justice Act and focus on the new thing. The I'm an activist. But only half-heartedly share posts and never really contribute anything, type. Most movements are full of those these days. We are living in the universe of Black Mirror, and the lazy pounds of the world are trying to secure that 5.0 rating to get the best out of life. Just like how a month ago the NHS were the popular thing to support, the hashtag stay home trend has now moved to hashtag BLM and posting black squares and no one gives a shit about the virus anymore. I keep seeing the term part of the problem tossed around like candy, and there are just so many layers to this year. Election year. Funny how that works. Who is really the problem here? Hint, it's not black people, white people, or even police. There are good and bad from every color and gender. That's just the way it's always gonna be. A better question is, please, tell me the magical solution that actually solves the never-ending loop bullshit. I'd really love a peaceful education on this topic because I have seen people trying but they only get yelled over. Call me names, get it out of your system, I just don't care about that right now. I throw my hands up, I want to have the answers but it's so my way or the highway right now. You just can't have a conversation. You have to pick sides and I won't do it just because someone wants to bully me. It's like people don't trust their friends to know them without the unnecessary virtual signaling. During the terrorist attack in Paris a few years ago, everyone was changing their propic to the French flag, and what, if you don't do that, you think terrorism is good? If any of my friends believe I'm a racist or anti-France or whatever just because I don't change my profile pic at the right time, then they clearly don't know me. It is virtue signaling. It has the same impact as thoughts and prayers. Just a week ago they were harassing people meeting up with 3 people and now they are literally marching in the thousands. Next week it'll be some other inane shit that effectively changes nothing. But this is in people's nature. You can't change it, so might as well let them pat each other in the back. I'm not sure if people consciously pretend to care. It's so easy to join the bandwagon, because in general all these posts are not wrong. Who could argue that someone's life matters or that we should be thankful for NHS? The problem is that we don't care that deeply as we show on social media. It's just so much easier to write a whimsical post than actually do something, especially when we receive support and praise for it. Long story short, everything we see on social media is exaggerate version of real life, whether it's a photoshopped picture or a trending post about hot topic. Most Twitter activists are just gigantic hypocrites. The same people who will say words are violence and claim that women need to be protected from violent men will shrug off a woman getting beaten by men using 2x4s because she had the audacity to ask them to stop looting. Black medium square, black medium square, black medium square, black medium square, black medium square. We did it, bois. We ended racism #brofist. That, and there's a lot of peer pressure to repost. A lot of it is definitely virtue signaling for sure, but I do think there are plenty of people doing it because they know they'll get harassed for not doing it too. This kind of thing was way worse for me on Facebook a couple years ago, and it only took getting rid of those kids of people and deleting my account to have any means of escape. I hardly keep in contact with anyone IRL anymore because of it, but I am still happier and have more peace of mind to the end of the day. Tiger King, coronavirus, George Floyd protests. There's always a big thing and everyone wants to be a part of it. These people are predictable AF. Edit, I wrote the wrong name. Black man dies. SJWs, how can I make this about me? So fucking tired of these people. The only thing they give a fuck about is having enough content to post on their feeds so they can pretend to be better than everyone else. Shallow fucking losers. 80% of these protesters are only there so they can post selfies on Snapchat and Instagram. They don't really give a fuck about anyone but themselves. The competition of "oh look at me, I'm better than you because you hold something for a few weeks in such high esteem and ignore everything else but the hot topic." They're bored and can't do any real change, so they find an outlet. This, 100%. One of my, now former, Facebook friends from college was on and on about this issue, constantly. She also jumped on the #MeToo bandwagon, no story of her own, but she felt uncomfortable walking in a shady area, once. The final straw was her saying that looting is a profound form of protest in a society that values material goods. There is nothing profound about stealing goods, destroying businesses, and spreading violence and fear. One of the saddest things out of this was an African American business owner being interviewed about his business being looted. Then the looters came back and stole his safe during the interview. Then they burned down his business that night. The guy was absolutely destroyed. There is nothing profound in that.